Yasmin. Retail sales have been a pain point for Hong Kong this year, but previously as well. This year we're seeing the impact of the unrest weighing. But let's take a look at the sector as it has been in trouble previously. Consider September 1998 with retail sales. They fell about 21.5%, and this was during the Asian financial crisis. They weathered an economic downturn in 2001, and then came the SARS epidemic. Retail sales saw double-digit drops in April and May 2003. Fast forward to the global financial crisis, and retail sales endured yet more pressure, though the setback was considered more muted. The sector saw a period of strength between 2010 and 2013 when the value of retail sales hit an all-time high. But then in 2014, the year of the umbrella protests, retail sales declined for the first time since 2003. Chinese anti-corruption crackdown made matters worse. Retail sales hit the skids for a few years, then made a comeback in 2017, growing more than 2% on the back of a rise in tourist arrivals from mainland China and better economic conditions. Last year marked the biggest increase in retail sales since 2013, with a rise of nearly 9%. But there were already worries about 2019, given the impact of the U.S.-China trade war, the cooling of the Chinese economy, and global growth concerns. The unrest that started in June hit retail sales hard, falling 11.4% in July from a year earlier, followed by a record on-year fall of 23% in August and down more than 18% in September. So who's losing out? Well, a lot of Hong Kong listed stocks are. Jewelry companies Chow Sang Sang and Luk Fook Holdings tumbling 18.8%, 16.7%. Beauty and personal care company Sasa International also tanking some 16% there. Link REIT, it has mainly retail properties in its portfolio. We are seeing significant weakness on that stock, 17.5% down. If you take a look, these are some of the other losers. Hang Lung Properties, Esprit, Chow Tai Fook, and that is the update from me. Back to you, Adam and Yasmin.
Thank you very much, Avril. Chow Tai Fook. Those glass showcases look really nice.
They do. I was just next door, and actually it looked pretty empty in this new store with a lot of sales assistants standing around.
A nice gold chain, perhaps?
Not into gold, but maybe something else. All right, for an expert's take, let's talk to Alice Pang. She's Senior District Sales Director at Retail at Centerline Commercial. She joins us here on the balcony. Great to have you, Alice. Thank you for coming in. So, you know, it's no surprise the protests that have lasted for almost 6 months have really taken a toll on the retail sector. From the perspective of the property side of the equation, I mean, how bad has it been for the landlords and the tenants as well?
Hong Kong's economy fell into a technical recession in the first quarter. And double blow of the U.S.-China trade war and Hong Kong protests, which further sharpened the risk of the investor to make their money in Hong Kong. So, over the escalating of violence and the early closing time of the MTR station discouraged tourists and visitors for going out to dine and shop. And some malls such as Landmark in Central and Sogo department store in Causeway Bay almost closed in early hours every day. So some shops such as related to the Chinese brand such as Huawei, the smartphone Huawei, and some Chinese state-owned bank, and some Best Mart 360, and the premises were all vandalized and broken by the chaos. So it hurts the Hong Kong retail property so much.
All right, Alice, this is Julie in Singapore studio. If the protests do not stop, is there anything that retailers themselves can do to help themselves in terms of, drawing more customers despite the unrest, such as maybe offering discounts or doing more online marketing, perhaps?
Yes, it seems that no signs of an end to the social disputes in the short term, and some clients are in no mood for talking about for expanding the business, and no plans to open the new shops in the third or fourth quarters, and it seems that lots of the companies are exploring ways of downsizing to save the cost in the past 2 months. And it seems that the leasing market in Hong Kong had almost chilling. Yeah.
Alice, Arnold here in Singapore as well. I want to ask you, I mean, it's easy enough, I suppose, to assess the damage in terms of dollars and cents from vandalism, from the damage, from people shunning shops, right? But surely it goes beyond that. Is there a psychological, a social impact that goes beyond dollars and cents?
Oh, yes. And you can see that the luxury retailers and hotels and other tourism-related businesses have announced the profit warning, and many F&B business has dropped by about 40% since June. So far, nearly 400 restaurants have closed down accordingly, and some hotels, such as the Kimberley Hotel, was sold out in the mid of September of about Hong Kong dollars 4.3 billion, which is the discount of about 30% of the original price. So you can see that it hits Hong Kong's status and the reputation of an international tourist destination and a food paradise. And you can see that some of the landlords want to compromise to keep their tenants, so they will make a large discount in the rental for such as 20% off and longer periods of the rent-free period in the lease terms in order to keep the tenants and the luxury brands to stay in Hong Kong. And some famous investors such as Li Ka-shing, he also raised the fund to assist private small companies to invest in Hong Kong. Yeah.
You know, Alice, in terms of retail, I know you're an expert. What suggestions or recommendations do you have for retailers to ride out this difficult period in terms of being innovative and diversifying, perhaps?
I think recently the unemployment rate is quite high, and the number of the visitors is dropping. I think in long run, people will do some things to promote some activities to stimulate the economies in Hong Kong. So I think governments will put more effort for helping in this aspect.
Okay, well, I know that a lot of retailers will hopefully do that soon. Thank you so much, Alice Pang. She is Senior District Sales Director of Retail at Centerline Commercial.